Hi, welcome back. If you have been learning English for the past few years and are still currently sticking with it, congratulations. You are already among the top 1% of all English learners. As an English teacher for over 10 years now, I have personally witnessed a lot of students trying everything they could to learn English. And I've also seen a lot of students give up somewhere on the way. So if you have made it to this far and you're still working on it, believe it when I say you are going to be exceptional. Among the students who decide to give up at some point on their journey, they usually do it for a few reasons. Perhaps they have not seen much progress for the first month or two, or they consider learning English very time-consuming and they cannot afford the time every day with everything else going on in their life. Or it could just due to their poor time management. Maybe some of them have unrealistic expectations for themselves, not knowing exactly where they are currently and not having a clue as to how long it's going to take them to get to where they want to be. Or sometimes they don't have motivation, or their motivation isn't strong enough. Because every time when we're trying to improve a skill, we need to rely on more than good intentions. Hard work and determination will usually carry you further along the way. And some of them give up simply because they're not confident enough. They don't believe that they could speak English well eventually. And because of that, a lot of students went through a lot of English tutors. Some of them might be native speakers and others might be Chinese English teachers. But they never seemed to be able to find the tutor that they believe could help them. And they bought a lot of online classes, but probably only went through a few of them. Saved a lot of English videos, hoping that one day they could get through all of them. Bought a lot of English books. Many of them were never finished. And they also may have bought a lot of gadgets recommended by some of the bloggers or influencers in the videos they watch. I can only imagine how frustrating it must have been to give up on something that you truly wanted to improve. So if you've ever had experience like this, there are a few things that may help you to get yourself back on track. And if you are one of the very few that are still working your ass off to achieve your goals, well done. Nonetheless, I would still recommend going through the tips I'm about to give to make sure you're not missing anything. The first tip I would give is to really make sure that English is something that you need or something that will benefit you and that it will be a good investment. This would prevent you from going after something not because you want to, but because you're trying to copy what other people are doing. Tip number 2. We always need to identify our priority first. There is so much to English learning. What aspects or which areas specifically are you trying to improve? You need to be well aware of your priority before you start to make a plan for yourself. Tip number 3, start with small time investments. You can't expect yourself to spend 2 hours every day in learning English when you first start. That's simply unrealistic. You're setting yourself up for failure, and it's really hard to do, especially if you're already working. So work takes up most of your day. When you get home, you're tired. You have to make supper. Maybe you need some time with your family. So it's simply undoable, especially at the very beginning, for us to commit to a 2-hour or even sometimes 1 hour every day. Start with a small time slot. Maybe start with 20 minutes a day or even 15 minutes a day. Progress happens when we keep coming at it day after day. So making sure your exercise happens on a regular basis is more important than trying and failing to commit 1 or 2 hours to your English learning. Tip number 4, make a study plan. Once we're certain which areas you want to improve first, we will then look at all the things that we can do. For example, if you want to focus on your spoken English first. So for spoken English, what are the practices that we can do on a daily basis to help us work on our spoken English? Perhaps your pronunciation needs a lot of work. Maybe your organization of ideas is not quite there yet. Or if you're not ready to make up your own sentences, increasing your language input might be the best activity for you at the moment. But we always need to have a plan, because the plan is a blueprint to our progress and to eventually achieving our goals. Tip number 5, give it time. Progress will come, but it takes time and efforts, and it's not always linear. Maybe initially you will experience progress a lot faster, but then as you continue to move forward, progress will slow down. And you have to be patient. Just because you're not progressing as fast as before, it doesn't mean that you're not working hard enough, or it doesn't mean that you're not doing the right thing. Because sometimes there needs to be enough practice for the big change to happen. And you have to have faith in the process. Tip number 6, be patient. You're going to run into a lot of obstacles, and you're going to slowly realize along the way some of the things you have been doing might not be the best options, and that's fine. That's the beauty of learning. As we learn, our knowledge grows, and we will be able to see a lot more opportunities, and we'll also have a better understanding of where we can go from there. And next time, when you want to give up, ask yourself this: can I stick with it for one more day? And maybe that's when changes happen.